Good morning everyone. Happy Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, and we've just heard the news in New South Wales that we're going to be in lockdown till the end of August. I think we all knew it was coming, but it's quite hard to hear it, and just a big shout out to everybody who is doing it super tough in New South Wales at the moment. What can I say? Hang in there, everyone. And big shout out to those of you in Melbourne, in South Australia. You're free. You can go back to life as normal, which is great, pretty much. Except I think you can't have people at home yet. But that's maybe a silver lining for some who don't want to start big dinners again. Anyway, so big shout out, lots of love to all of you. And today I am going to do something that I wouldn't normally do in a cooking class or anything, because it's a recipe that we all had, I think, in our 20s and 30s when we were young mums particularly, and we had to make things for school fairs and that sort of thing, and fetes and bake sales, and it's a really great thing to do. But I made it last week because I was going through my old recipe book, and I just made it. I just feel like it made it, tasted it, and just went, oh my God, this is so good. Like, I've got to share this with people. People have to know that in 5 minutes you can whip something up that after 2 hours in the fridge will be absolutely amazing. So hi everybody, good morning. I missed Sandra's sister from Atlanta. Sandra's from Atlanta and her sister is online. And hey Karen from Melbourne, and everybody, hello. And welcome to our little daily cooking live segment, which I enjoy. I love it. Those of you who have been with me most days know how much I enjoy it and how good it is for my mental health to be with all of you and have you in my kitchen. But I hope that it's good for you too, and I can give you a little bit of distraction, a little entertainment, and of course something super delicious every day to eat. Hey Esther, that's my sister, who is going to get the record for being online every single day. And they're not even in lockdown in Melbourne anymore, and she's still online. That's commitment, I got to say. Hi everybody. I could just stand here and say hello to everybody as we go. Nice to see you all joining me. I'm going to go through this recipe nice and slowly, just because it's not complicated. It doesn't require any skills whatsoever, but let's just go through it so you can all make this very, very, very delicious thing. And you'll see that I'm telling the truth when I say how delicious it is. Okay, let's start. We need rice bubbles. In America, they're called Rice Crispies, I think, and they are these little puffed rice things, but I don't think they have any goodness in them for you whatsoever, okay? So this is not a recipe with anything that's going to sustain you from a health perspective, but it will nourish your soul, I promise you. So we're using rice bubbles today, and we're going to need 3 cups of rice bubbles in a mixing bowl, okay? So I'm going to measure in front of you just because, we've got to have something to do together. So 3 cups of rice bubbles. And I'm a stickler for weighing things when baking. For this recipe, it really doesn't matter. A bit more, a bit less, it's okay. Someone actually messaged me during the week and said, can they use brown rice, the brown rice version? And absolutely, like, why not? I think there's a possibility to make this a little bit more healthy if that's your thing. For me today, I'm happy going. Nothing good in it for you, and that's okay. 2 cups, we're doing 3 altogether. I may just have enough in this box. Yeah, I do. So, FYI, very good information I'm about to give you. This 250 gram packet will make 2 Mars bar slices, okay? Because 3 cups is about 125 grams, it seems. Put the rest of it in. 3 cups of rice bubbles, set that aside. Now comes the difficult part of the recipe. No, I'm joking. I'm really joking. Okay, we're using a baking tin this size. I am in the habit, when I remember, of writing in the bottom of my baking tins in texture. It does come off, but then I just rewrite it. 17 by 27 centimetres. I should know that in inches for you. It is 10.5 by 7 inches. It's quite a small tin. This belonged to my late mother-in-law, Talia. She was a great cook, and she used to make her date slice in this. I should really share that recipe with you, maybe next week. It's really good. The only thing I say about it is it's got a raw egg in it. And I know we make mousses and eat raw eggs, but I just wonder with slices that people keep in the fridge for days and days, I get nervous giving a recipe with a raw egg because people won't remember it's a raw egg, and it's not good if you're, you know, have some sort of health issue or you're compromised somehow. Anyway, enough about that. This is what we need, 17 by 27, and we are going to line it with baking paper because we just don't want this mixture to stick. I'm using olive oil spray to glue the paper on. You can use that canola spray, but the smell of it is just yuck for me sometimes. So I'm just going to give this a little spray and just some baking paper in. Okay. I'm not even cutting, I'm not even measuring carefully today. This it just doesn't matter. That's perfect, okay? Just like that. Set that aside. Now, let's get all our ingredients together. We are going to need, the main star of this is, of course, the Mars bar. And I didn't know, I haven't bought a Mars bar for 100 years. It's not my favourite candy bar, to be honest. I used to love a picnic. What's your favourite? Who remembers the picnic? So I tried a picnic maybe 3 years ago and it just wasn't the same. And I don't know if they've just got a bit more mean with what they put into it, but it just didn't seem substantial like it used to be. So I was very disappointed. And wagon wheels as well. They used to be better. Does everyone agree? Anyone agree with that? Mars bar fans, they come in different sizes. I didn't really know that there are a million sizes. I used last week 3 53-gram bars. You need about 150 grams of Mars bar in total. Yeah, Dorothy loves a picnic bar like me. Did you agree they used to be better? Peppermint Crisp is a good one. I've never been a peppermint fan though, I've got to say. I don't mind it. I have to eat peppermint chocolate, I will. Like if someone sends me a peppermint frog from Hague's, of course I'm going to eat it. It's not my number one choice though. Okay, so Mars bars. So this time I bought these ones, which are a 2-pack, which I didn't need to buy, which are 64 grams each. Oh, you know what I've forgotten? I just realised I've forgotten the dark chocolate. Hold on, I'm just going to grab it. There we go, for one sec. Okay, coming back. It's really awkward to leave the video when there's nothing for you to see. Violet crumble. What about violet crumble versus crunchy? What's the difference? Is there a difference? There's another peppermint lover who loves those York peppermint patties. Yeah. Okay, so I'm using lint. I've grabbed the 85%, which I actually didn't want. So I'm going to go back and grab the correct one. Bear with me. Chat amongst yourselves for a moment. I will be back. Just going into my pantry. And here we go. I was so organised, but I forgot the chocolate. Oh, Milky Way. Yeah, don't think it's my thing. I know a lot of people love it. Oh, what's a violet crumble? Someone wants to know. It's like it's honeycomb with chocolate. Is it the same as a crunchy bar? I want to know. I want someone to tell me if there's a difference. I really want to make some wagon wheels. I saw someone online made some wagon wheels, and I'm going to actually make them maybe next week. Okay, chocolate. So we're going to get to that in a sec. All right, too much chatting. Back to the Mars bars. Okay, so we need about 150 grams of Mars bars, but since I've got 60, what are these? What did I say? 60 grams, something like that. 64. Each one is 32. I'm going to use 5 of them. Okay, so just work out what 150 grams of Mars bars add up to. Comprise, I should say. Okay, so look at the bar, pack it, and work it out that way. I quite like a Mars bar actually. Not my number one, but I quite like it when I think about it. So Jules Kitchen Rule says violet crumble is honeycomb. I think crunchy is a bit more caramel flavour. I think crunchy is definitely honeycomb. I feel that it is honeycomb, but I wonder what the difference is. Is there an actual difference? Think it's caramel flavoured honeycomb? You know, crunchy. I'm not sure. Does anyone know? I guess we need people who eat both of them. But the problem is people get used to one chocolate bar and then just eat that. And so they don't know what the other one is. Who used to love a wagon wheel? Tell me. Yum. That was biscuit, jam, marshmallow, and chocolate, I think. Yum. Love it. Melanie, I've never had a Mars bar ice cream. Might have to try. No, I don't need another thing to try, to be honest, but it sounds delicious. Okay, so get your Mars. We're going to need Mars bars, 150 grams of Mars bars. Then we're going to need some dark chocolate. I just thought I'd make it a tiny bit more adult by adding in a little more chocolate than the original recipe. And I'm going to put 50 grams, and these Lindt bars are great for cooking. Each square is 10 grams, so we need 5 squares of this, and it helps if you actually break them along the lines. It makes it much easier. I did not do that, but I'm doing it now, okay? 50 grams of dark chocolate. So we've got 150 grams of Mars bar, 50 grams of dark chocolate. We're going to have 75 grams or 3 ounces-ish of unsalted butter, because we're going to add salt. If you've only got salted butter, we're not going to don't add salt, okay? Butter, we're going to need some golden syrup, 1 heaped tablespoon, love golden syrup, and of course some salt. Always need salt with caramel. They're just like, what's that song from Oklahoma? Is it from Oklahoma where they, I'm getting mixed up. What musical is it from? Can someone help me? Where something goes with something, like a something and a something. That's what I'm trying to think of. Chocolate and caramel and salt are just a match made in heaven is what I'm trying to say. Okay, that's it. Rice bubbles, Mars bars, butter, dark chocolate, golden syrup, salt. We need a saucepan. We're going to melt these together. But first we're going to put our butter in. I'm going to put the chocolate in, the Lindt chocolate or whatever dark chocolate you're using. And then we're going to chop up the Mars bars, which is the only technical part of today's Insta Live. And as I learnt the other day, if you don't chop them up, it just takes ages to melt and just doesn't melt as well, okay? So I did the hard yards for you. I want you to appreciate that. I tested this recipe and had to chase around the pieces of Mars bar in the pot for about 10 minutes till they melted. So chop them, makes it better. This is what a Mars bar is, for those who don't know. They call it nougat, which is the bottom layer, which is that. It's like a whipped nougat, caramel in there, covered in milk chocolate. I would actually like a dark chocolate Mars bar. Do they make them? Does anyone know? That would be great. So let's slice up our Mars bars and put them in. Yum. Using all my self-control not to pick up a piece or two and eat it along the way. That's what I do. It's not a good thing. I'm a big picker. And I'm going to tell myself, no, we've measured the Mars bar. I'm not going to take any out because it's going to impact the final dish. So we're not picking the Mars bar today. We're just going to slice these and put them in. All right, how are we going, guys? Anyone cooking along with me? Give me a little thumbs up or a heart or something just to tell me that you're there. And I can do it 3 bars in one go. See, this is getting really technical. I hope that you can follow this. Right. Very technical today. Slicing up the Mars bars and putting them into a saucepan. Yum, it smells delicious. I actually love it. It's really hard not to have just one little tiny bit. So you know what? I'm going to give in just that little bit, okay? It's delicious. Very sweet. Reminds me of, makes my teeth tinkle actually. Yesterday, I'm going to put the stove on actually. I'll tell you about yesterday in a minute. Put it on. Now we're going to measure a tablespoon of golden syrup. This is how I like to do it. Get a little bit of spray. You may not think it's worthwhile doing it, but I just do it whenever I measure honey, golden syrup, anything sticky, I do it like that. Tends to make it easier, and I want a heaped tablespoon. Remember, in Australia, tablespoons are 20 mils, okay? As opposed to America and Canada where it's 15. Heaped tablespoon, and then tip it in. And because we've oiled it, it should just come out, and it mostly does. It pretty much does, except for the last little drop. It pretty much comes out, as opposed to having to fish it all out. So that's golden syrup. Okay. Thank you, Oatmeal Cookie Baker. My kitchen, I love my kitchen. I have been in this kitchen for 20 years next week. I think we moved on the 8th of August 2001. And the kitchen is the same as it was. We've made a couple of changes, but I love it. Yeah, Jules' Kitchen Rules, hot water is also great. put your tablespoon in hot water, and then measure your honey or your golden syrup. Just stops it from sticking. Okay, so this is it. You need a wooden spoon. We're just going to stir this until it melts. So I'm just going to set this aside for a moment. I'm going to add the salt as well. I'm not going to forget. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I want to measure salt. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there as well. Ah, amazing. Thank you, Lindy. Titmus won her, what was it, the 200? Amazing, amazing. She won. Woo, thank you for that. It's nice to get, thank God we've got the Olympics on actually for some good news for us all. It's actually a very, very good salvation for us at the moment. Okay, so you can see I'm just mixing it all together. It's just, the aim here is just to melt everything, make sure that the chocolate's melted, make sure the Mars bars are completely melted, and that you don't have bits of caramel floating around like I did the other day. So yesterday, I was laughing with Jessie, you know, my daughter, because we were doing chocolate this week, and she had an appointment at the dentist for a filling, and we decided that, well, it was her suggestion, which was hilarious, that we should do a live cross to her in the dentist chair having a filling, because that's the lesson to everybody. If you eat too much chocolate and don't floss and brush your teeth, you're going to end up in that chair. But then we decided that you guys probably wouldn't want to see her having a filling. I don't think it's a fun thing to watch. Anyway, so poor Jessie's hadn't been to the dentist for a little while and had to have 2 visits last week and this week, and now she's done, and her teeth are looking fabulous and all filled and ready to go. I'm sure you all needed to hear that information. Okay, is anyone cooking along with me? Tell me how you're going. Stirring away. And all we're going to do is mix this mixture with our rice bubbles, okay? And that's it. And that's the recipe. So just a quick reminder, we have got our rice bubbles, 3 cups ready to go. In a saucepan, we have got chopped Mars bars, 150 grams worth, 75 grams of unsalted butter, 50 grams, 5 squares of Lindt dark chocolate, a heaped tablespoon of golden syrup, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. All in there. Yum, yum, yum. All goodness. And we're just stirring it till it melts. I'm going to turn it up a tiny bit. And I do have a 1/2 Mars bar left, which I'm sure somebody at my place will eat. Yes, Carm, you can use any size you like, any tin size you like. Just work out the maths, okay? So in inches we've got, I love the maths part of it. In inches we've got, let's say 10 times 7, which is 70 square inches. So 8 8s are 64, 9 9s are 72. I would use the 9 by 9. Doesn't really matter. If it's thicker, it's not cooking. It doesn't matter if it's thin or thick, and you can then cut it into whatever you want. It'd be lovely thick and cut it into lovely slices. So it's your call. Okay, and a good way to test if you've got the right tin is to just do this. You know, you can just put your rice bubbles into the tin and see if they fit before you mix the mixture in. So it's easy. So that's a good one for me. This tin is a perfect size. And then I'll put them back. I still love rice bubbles for breakfast. I think when I was a kid, I can't remember what I used to have them with. Banana. I think they're really nice with sliced banana and white sugar milk. God, those were the days. Yeah. Is that what I grew up eating? I don't think so, but I just did have it from time to time. We're not a big cereal house anymore. We were when the kids were little. I used to give them, you know, we thought Nutri-Grain were healthy, so they used to have Nutri-Grain and, of course, Cocoa Pops, because I love Cocoa Pops. And now we have muesli, but that's about it. Not much cereal around. No one likes it. And most of them are pretty much full of rubbish. You know, they're not really good for you. Yeah, Kaz agrees, banana and sugar and rice bubbles. Yum. Really like that. Now that I've got a box sitting there, I might have that one day. Yeah, Jill's Kitchen Rules, banana and sugar. I wasn't the only one. Yeah. And you used to feel the crunch of the white sugar when you ate it. It was just delicious. I think I told some of you last week or the other day about my mother who did medicine. She's a doctor. And when she was at medical school in Melbourne, she and one of her friends used to go to the corner store there in Carlton. And she was at Melbourne Uni and eat banana and cream sandwiches. Same flavour profile, right? I think so. Lucy, could you use Cocoa Pops instead of rice bubbles? Yes, you could, but I'd want to take out, it's just going to be so sweet. Cocoa Pops are really sweet, and the good thing about rice bubbles is that they're not sweetened, I don't think. Are they sweetened? No, so that's what you've got to do. You'd have to make some adjustment. How would you do that? Because the only sweetness is coming from the golden syrup, which adds flavour as well, and the Mars bar. Perhaps, I don't know. I'm not sure how I would do that. Perhaps take out the chocolate. But I think rice bubbles are better for this than Cocoa Pops. Cocoa Pops have other great uses. You know, we all love chocolate crackles. Really love chocolate crackles. All right, this is it takes a while to melt. You know, you need a little bit of patience, which I do have some days and some days I don't. Because the idea is not to have little bits of nougat through this. It wouldn't be terrible, it wouldn't be bad, but you know. So what's everyone doing? How's everyone feeling in Sydney? How's everyone feeling in Melbourne or anywhere else? Sydney people, are you feeling sad and stressed, or are you thinking about the month ahead and what you're going to do in that month? Love to hear how you're feeling. I have to process it really and think about what I'm going to do. I'd like to do something, to plan something for the next month and make it a worthwhile month without putting pressure on myself. So Miss Bella Carla, what is my favourite thing to cook? I just love cooking anything, to be honest. I love the process of turning separate ingredients into something special. Like particularly, I love cooking with yeast. I love things that take time, and I love cooking with yeast. So probably donuts, not that I make them very often, or challah on a Friday I love making. Those sorts of things are very, very enjoyable for me. Yeah, Sophia says that sunnier weather would be good in Sydney. Well, it's sunny here, but it's windy. Thank you, Nebulous 2001. Thank you for feeling for Sydney. We felt for you when you were in it, and we know that you feel for us. Sigh, sigh, sigh. Giant Cross Stitcher, is there a fifth book coming? Not at the moment. A few thoughts in my head, but not sure. Yeah, that Marvel pudding is delicious, isn't it? From the new book. It's really, really good. I agree with you. I'm glad you made it. I'm doing a beautiful dessert tomorrow night with Michael Rantisi. For those of you who are signed up for the cooking class, I think you're going to be really happy with the dessert. It's called a Queen Elizabeth tart. It's more like a cake than a tart, made with dates and nuts, and then you put a topping over the top and put it under the griller or the broiler, and it goes all sugary and crusty. It's really, really delicious. And then I'm going to serve it with some creme fraiche on the side and eat it warm. So yeah. I have decided next Sunday week on the 8th of August, I'm going to do a donut day, okay? It's going to be a proper Zoom online cooking class. I did a chiffon class last Sunday. I had 70 people and it was absolutely fantastic. We were together for 2 hours. Everyone's cakes, except for maybe 2 who fell out of the tin, were fantastic. If you're on Instagram, you would have seen all the pics I posted. So I'm doing another, it's going to be a paid class. It's going to be $55 for the day. It's pretty much we're together from 12 noon for quite a few hours. We'll come and go, and together, slowly, step by step, I'll answer all your questions as we go. We're going to make donuts together. We're going to make a beautiful dough. We're going to make 2 different fillings. You can either do jam or dulce de leche. We're going to shape the donuts. We're going to go away while they rise, come back and fry them together. There is going to, it's on our website at the moment. It's going to be on social media soon, but go to mondaymorningcookingclub.com.au and you'll see that donut day. So Sandra, do you have a problem with PayPal? You know that when you go to buy something with PayPal, it always gives you the option of you can just choose to put in your credit card and not sign up with PayPal. I don't know why you've got a problem with PayPal. I mean, I personally love it. I use it all the time as a personal thing. I love it. I don't have to put my credit card in. I know it's in all my computers and my phone. Makes shopping really, really easy. As a merchant, they take a percentage, which you have to pay them. But because Monday Morning Cooking Club is a not-for-profit, which I don't know if you guys know, we get a slightly reduced fee, which makes it more attractive for us. But PayPal's great, and we love it. We really do. So try again and see what you think. Okay, so that's the donut class. And this is, how's yours looking? Mine's still got some little bits in it. I'm quite enjoying just standing here chatting to you. It's very nice stirring, just taking it slow. Got my lovely cup of tea here. Just thinking about the month ahead, thinking about what we're going to do. We're all going to get through it together. I mean, Melbourne did it so harshly and they got through it. So we can do it. I guess I just find it a bit of a shock to be told a month. Like, I've spoken to my family members about it and they don't all agree with me, but I sort of think that it's almost better to give it to you in increments, like 2 weeks and then another, maybe not, another 2 weeks. What do you think? Do you want to know in one go? Maybe it's better. All right, I think this is good. Mine is melted, all smooth and delicious. There's a couple little bits in there, but you know what, I'm not going to worry about that. Okay, how are we going? I'm going to get out, of course, the thing I get out every single day, which is my silicone spatula. Can't live without it. And all we do now is pour it on top. The sound of that reminds me of making chocolate crackles. I don't know about you, but food sounds are with me all the time, okay? And this is the chocolate crackle sound. Okay, thanks Jules Kitchen Rules. Sydney can do it, Melbourne did, you're right. Okay, so giant cross stitcher. Yeah, I will tell you about the charity side of it in a second. Thank you for asking. Yes, Nebulous 2001, it is, you think it's better for planning to know ahead. Yeah, particularly for business, 100%. I know that some Melbourne hospitality were really upset that Dan Andrews gave them no warning that they were reopening for sure. And so how do you set up a restaurant in a half a day? And that's the problem. All those restaurants are doing it so tough. Okay, so we're just mixing this together. This is the other technical part of the day. We just have to make sure that every single little bubble is coated with this chocolate caramel mixture. Now this smells yum. This feels like chocolate crackle vibes, which I love. That lovely, lovely childhood treat that I could eat a few of right now. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Taxi Mary. Better to do it in one go. Yeah, I think you're right. Okay, I withdraw that thought completely. Okay, I forget I ever said that. I never said I wanted to know in increments. We want to know in one go. We're in it for a month. And I'm going to plan all the delicious things I'm going to cook with you over that month. And we're going to have a fantastic, fantastic month, I promise you. All right. So, don't want any bubble unturned, okay? I don't want any pale bubbles. I want them all to be chocolate. I'm going to check your rice bubble slabs later, your Mars bar slices, and make sure, okay? So that's my daughter Jessie online. Yeah, I will deliver you some, Jess. I will drive to your place and I will leave it on your doorstep just because I love you, okay? I will do that for you. This is a great thing to make to drop into friends and neighbours as well. It's so easy. It's got ingredients, you know, do a supermarket order and just stock up with all these things. It's just, people poo-poo it. I know there are people out there that poo-poo making something like this, but it's just yum and it's fun to make and it's easy and it takes us all back to some part of our life when we used to make these for bake sales. Okay, baking tin that has been lined and now I'm just going to tip it in, and I do want it to be quite smooth on the, well, it doesn't have to be. This is the thing. You know what? Looking at this, it might be nice to leave it quite rough and rustic. What do you think? Might be quite nice. But what I love about this when you eat it, and I'll show you the one that I made the other day, is that it gets chewy because of the caramel. And if it's compressed a little bit, it just gets chewier, and I love it. So let's just spread it out as much as we can. So I'm really drawing this recipe out. You know I could have made it in 5 minutes, but I want to talk to you. We're here to talk. You're here with me. You're spending some time. Let's just enjoy it and, like, you know, make this simple 5-minute recipe take a good half an hour. Okay, that's what we've got to do in lockdown. We've got to make everything slower, you know, slow down, take our time, enjoy coating every bubble in caramel. Enjoy smoothing it out. You know what I mean? That's how I'm feeling today. Ready to slow everything down. So I'm using this just to spread it out. I want it to be even. And it just hardens quite quickly, so you don't have like all the time in the world to be so slow, to be honest. As I'm chatting, it's got harder and harder. Okay, so oatmeal cookie baker, a variation of this, chocolate dipped on the bottom. At my very first Yom Kippur, breaking the fast away from home. Wow. I would never think of serving this for breaking the fast, but why not? It's so delicious. Kez, I'm glad this is your favourite part of the day. You know what? It's my favourite part of the day too. I don't want to leave you now. I'm happy here. All right, so I'm going to spread this out. And then I'm going to put this in the fridge. Probably needs a couple hours. You know, you can go test it every half an hour if you want. Cut off a corner and see what it's like. I'm going to show you the one I made before. And it was really hard. I honestly had to fight off my sons like this. Or I made it last week to stop them from eating it and to take it and drop it off at friends' doors. I really had to work hard. I fought to keep it for you guys. I want you to understand my commitment to you, okay? I didn't want to turn up with one that wasn't ready to cut. So, you know, I've got to show you. So this is what's left, probably half of it. I had to hide it. I hid it in the back of the fridge where they couldn't see it. Put some parsley on top of it. They never knew it was there. Okay, so that's it. Keep that for that. And you saw the pictures on Instagram, how lovely it is. It's just simple and yum. And I want to show you how nice it is to eat. So for those who asked, Monday Morning Cooking Club, we set up 15 years ago as a not-for-profit to write cookbooks and tell the story and recipes, share the recipes and tell the story of the Jewish community through food, mainly in Australia but around the world as well. And we've always been a not-for-profit, and we will always continue to be a not-for-profit. So all the money that we make, all the profit we make goes to charity. By law, we have to, and we love that. So that's it in a nutshell. And on our website, there's a list of all the many charities we've supported over the years. And the list is huge. And I think that we've probably raised or enabled charities to raise about $750,000. And it's been, you know, I call it the icing on the cake. I don't think, for me, it's not the reason for doing it at all. The reason for doing it is because I want to share the stories and recipes of our community and preserve them, you know, preserve recipes from the past generations for us and from our generation for the future. That's what I want to do. But the charity thing is the icing on the cake. You know, it's a bonus, and it's lovely to do. So when you're thinking about whether to join the donut class for $55, you know, I actually don't want you to join it because it's for charity. I want you to join it because you want to make donuts, and it's worth spending the day and that amount to learn something new. So that's my charity story in a nutshell. Okay, so it cuts really nicely. I just love, it's just caramelly and chewy, even just cutting like that. Cut it however you like. I'm going to cut mine into little bars like this, maybe 6 across. You know, it's funny, you always think you're doing a really good job of cutting it evenly, and then you look at them and they're all different sizes, but you know what? Who cares? Who cares? So, yum. This is from last week. Lasts for ages in the fridge. It's really good. I have not had breakfast yet. And really, it's just like having cereal for breakfast. It's no different. Oh, really good. I'm sorry you're not eating yours yet because yours is in the fridge still. It's really nice. And what I find is that the dark chocolate addition to it makes it a little less sweet. You could just use 200 grams of Mars bars. Just makes it a bit less sweet and a bit more adulty, which I quite like. So that's it. I could sit down now with a cup of tea and just go through that whole slab, but I'm not going to. So Calm would like a glass of milk with it. Yeah, that'd be nice too. I love milk and biscuits and milk and cake also. It'd be really nice. This is delicious. Please do post your pictures of this when you make it on Instagram, and don't forget to tag us so we can see and repost it, because it's really, I'd love to see them all. I'm sure you've got creative ways of showing me your Mars bar slices in photos. I want to do a quick reminder that tomorrow morning at 11:30 I'm not doing a session because I've got tomorrow evening with Michael Rantisi. If you haven't signed up now, I don't think you can get the ingredients packs anymore, but you can sign up for $25 and you get the recipes, the ingredients list, and a recording of the video, and you can watch it live and then get a recording of the video later. That's on the Kepos Street Kitchen website. It's going to be delicious and fun. And then have a look at our website for the donut day info, and then I'll be back on Friday at 11:30. And what am I doing? Yes, Friday I'm doing my mother-in-law Talia's amazing chocolate walnut cake. It's flourless, it's gluten-free, it's made with walnuts that you can grind yourself or buy ground walnuts. It is my husband Danny's favourite cake in the world. And we're just doing a quick milk chocolate icing on top. That recipe's in our new book, and I'm doing a half size in a loaf tin again, just because those of us in lockdown don't need, 4,000 cakes. So that's what's coming up. And then Saturday, chocolate ripple cake. Melbourne people are rolling their eyes because they don't need to learn how to make it, but us Sydney people need to know, if you don't know already, how to make a chocolate ripple cake. It is an essential part of anyone's repertoire, okay? You'll love it if you haven't heard of it before. Thank you all, and have a good day. Keep safe, stay home, Sydney people, please, and everyone, please get vaccinated. We've got to do our bit. See you all. I'm going to say bye for now. Kisses and hugs from me. See you later.